Hi, welcome back to my life of plants. I'm Newman, and this is the day after these rains that we got. And usually in the monsoon season when it rains, it doesn't really get any cooler. It still remains up in the high 30s, but today it's about 23 degrees this morning, so it is so cool. It feels so great to be able to have a cool day after all of this extreme heat. It's been so hot, I haven't been able to do anything, and the phone also cuts out under the stress of the heat. So now it's much cooler. I'm able to come out and do a little update on my orchids. These are the orchids that are out here in this little area here in this corner of this balcony, and they've been doing pretty good so far, but they've got to get through August. And this one here is a flower that looks like that. Fairyland Popo. It's a mini Cattleya hybrid, which are pretty popular here in Japan. We saw a lot of mini Cattleyas. You can see here that after mounting it, we've got some roots that are attaching onto the mount there, and overall looking good. We've got 1, 2, 3, and possibly another one at the back there, but I can't see. But it's been mounted on this piece of wood that was cut off the maple tree, Japanese maple tree. And up here, this is one that I've put into this basket, and it's got pumice stones in a net bag, and you can see that it's got this whole new growth coming away, and these roots are reaching down into this. And I'm pretty sure that is a Balconiana. It's got Balconiana in it. It's quite miniature. And the leaves are ovate, elliptical. And next to it is this Bifrenaria here. You can see that that's its latest growth there, and it didn't flower, but it's still trying to get bigger as a plant before it does so. It's possibly the most heat tolerant of the orchids I have. It's able to put up with anything. There's no other orchid that I know of that can put up with as much heat as a Bifrenaria like this one. Its last name I don't pronounce enough, but I'll put it on the screen for you. At the moment the bulbs are about this big, but it will get bigger. This is my oldest orchid, which is a mini Cattleya. It has beautiful bright yellow flowers. And this is one of its latest growths here. And this thing is just non-stop growing bulbs. And it's not unusual for it to, I bought some in August But if we come around here, so this thing is just growing out everywhere now. There's so much growth. This is another new growth there. Cane. It really is a big plant. I don't know if I can do this. Okay. I had to pull it out. It really is a big monster of a thing. I'm gonna put it down there. Look how big it is. This is the one I grew, so I can say that I can grow orchids pretty well. I can't grow orchids pretty well if I get a one that's sick or got a poor root system or something like that. Definitely can't then. And I've been getting a lot of those. Mini cattleyas. This one here, just like this one in this basket, was one that I bought as cuttings. As a cutting. So I'll give it a try. You can see here that it has a new growth coming out, and plus it's starting to get the roots growing onto the mount. So it survived because I mounted it in the winter when I bought it, in the very late autumn. It has yet to grow many more roots. Next to it is my Vandastylus Lusneri, and it started dropping the lower leaves, but that doesn't really mean anything. I didn't move it. I thought it might be getting too stressed from the heat we've been having. So these ones are clump forming. It should start growing offsets at the base. And this one here, got a snap leaf there, I don't know what happened. This is the bifoliate Cattleya beringiana. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This was last year's, which is a whopper. And it flowered very successfully. And now it's put out this one that it was growing during the winter. And it's putting out a new growth right here, right at the back, can you see? And it is definitely outgrown the pot, and what I'm going to do is carefully slip a a long knife down there just to loosen it and slip it out of its pot and repot it during the period when it's going to put out some new roots. So it wouldn't be now, because these roots have, if I am to repot it, I think I might just, I think I can get it out of there without damaging anything, because the roots are not actually grabbing onto this pot here. This one has always done well, and it's put up with a lot of heat, so it's a good sturdy orchid to grow. Unfortunately, no fragrance. At the back here, this is one of my Dendrobium kingianums, and it's Specio kingianum white. You can see that. You can see that root there coming out. I got potted up into the sphagnum. One hiding back here was one that was gifted to me. It's a bifoliate. I'm not sure which one it is, but it does have some new growths here. Got one here and one there. So whatever it is, it's a toughie. It's kind of reminding me a lot of Beringiana, but it isn't. And up here is one of my favorite Dendrobium kingianum types. There's lovely flowers. Its flowers are it's my area there where I put dead leaves and then I collect them all together. It's got a lot of new growth here. It flowered very well, and it was out here all winter with temperatures. I got down to -5 degrees, and I just put burlap over it. It was about all. So it is growing. You can see here and here and there. It is lovely. White flowers with a dark purple labellum. Really neat looking flowers. Next to it, that's hard to dig out, is Dendrobium speciosum X gracilla col, and it has you can see inside there that it's starting up to give buds from each of these. Growing points on the new bulbs. Also has a new bulb here, and you can see right there, look, it's going to flower finally. I've had it for 1.5 years or longer, so that's 1, 2 and 3 new canes that's growing. So that's really great. So I'm going to have flowers, and they're going to be beautiful racemes of bright yellow flowers. And this one was also out here all winter. Didn't get any damage on the leaves whatsoever. There was no damage on the leaves. We put up with a lot of cold, right down to the -5 degrees. And during the day it warms back up to about 10 degrees. We get plenty of sunshine during the winter, and it's dry. It's a dry winter. So that's great. That one is doing fantastic. All is well. Over here, this is Epidendrum it's got 3 bulbed canes, and these ones are leafy. Renee marks, yeah, and here's its new growth coming away here. It flowered very, very nicely in the late winter, early spring. And it is also a toughie, so it's out here on this balcony. It's able to put up with these extreme temperatures. This is my giant. As you can see here, I show with my hands how big these leaves are on Rhyncholaliocattleya young Kong. This is the bulb that, this is the one that it grew. Oh no, this is the one that grew from when I bought it. So it's the biggest growth. Big huge bulbs, canes here. And then it grew this one that it flowered from, magnificent flowering. And it has this one here that's growing. You can see all those roots that are going down into the media there, which is a lot of pumice with a bit of bark. So it's growing really well. It's able to put up with a lot of heat, that's why it's here. And this unruly monster is Laliocattleya Blue Heaven. This is one of its newest growths it's putting up. And it's got another one right here. This thing is so big. So coming out and going up from the bottom, straight up, and then if we have a look down in there, somehow, ugh, you can just see how much roots and stuff are in there. It was going to flower in winter, and I think I made a mistake and I underwatered it, so I wasn't able to push out its blooms. It didn't have enough water. So this one definitely wants to flower. You can see there the old sheath. So it was trying to flower. And these are the leaves that were damaged from the beginning of last winter before I brought them in. So it's got its limits to be able to handle the cold. Doesn't like the cold too much. So it was getting down to about 10 degrees at night, and that's about it. Can't handle any lower than that. But it is a big plant with a lot of bulbs, so when it does flower, it'll be magnificent. And the reason why I like it is it's hardy and easy to grow, and the flowers are typical of a cattleya. The big frilly lips, frilly petals, and labellum. Quite a classical looking one. So this is Laliocattleya Blue Heaven, Dinard's Blue Heaven. It has a habit of growing its bulbs, and sometimes they do flop over under their own weight. Yeah. What else do we have? We have something down here that's recovering. If I can just get my camera in there. So you can see a lot of new growth coming away on this Dendrobium kingianum that had a hard time one winter, and it was due to the fact that I had plastic around this mini greenhouse, and it caused a problem with a black kind of spores to develop on the leaves there that have been spreading here and there, but it's not as bad as it used to be. It's kind of like coming down, but it didn't like the extremities between night and day. So the plastic polythene cover on this greenhouse in the winter, what it did was it pushed the temperatures really up to 30 degrees, and then it would drop right down to -5, and I didn't like that one little bit. If it's going to be cold, just leave it and use burlap and put burlap around it. That's a much better idea. And it's been putting out a lot of new canes, and hopefully that they don't abort and that it keeps growing and they mature, because last year it would grow new canes and it would abort them. They would go all rotten and drop, which was pretty depressing to see that. Yeah. I don't know why it did that. But what I've done now is I've made sure that I water it every day, and let's see what happens, because I want to see those flowers again. Not that Kingianum. Yeah, moving along. This big specimen here is got a name that it's too long for sure. Vanda Lion Stars. It's got ducks for some reason. Cross of Vanda Falcata X Sagarique Gold. And it did flower. There was one spray of flowers, about five to six flowers. And it's been growing really well, and it does get a lot of direct sun. And then from the afternoon, when the sun moves around to the west, it gets shaded. So it seems to be doing perfect right here. It likes it. It's got a nylon thread, a nylon fishing line up to a hook to stop it swaying around, and these pegs are holding it onto this netting, this shade cloth, so it's sturdy. It went through a lot of stress, but with the previous owner, who has multiple divisions of this big monster of a plant. She has a huge piece on a mount, and this is the one that she put into this basket. And she said one winter she thought that it would be fine outside because it has Vanda Falcata in its lineage, but however it didn't like it, and it's got a lot of damage and dropped a lot of leaves, which you can still see here and there, but there's not so many of them left. And you can see all this new growth here is fine. This is the growth that it had. It was quite small at the time, but they're getting bigger, and it's just a matter of it putting out even more growth than that to be able to build up enough of a root system and a plant to be able to flower more. That's all. But however, it's been growing really well and putting out lots of roots, especially around the back here. You can see the roots that it's pushed out through this. I have to carefully slip them out in the winter when I do move it. And the last one is a kind of a terrestrial orchid. But you know what, I can't identify it, so I'm not going to, but that's it there. It grows steadily, not quickly. Hasn't flowered yet, and I got it from my friend. We'll see what happens with that, see if it flowers or not. And that's all. That's all for today, and thanks for watching. Having a look at my orchids. Oh, gosh, nearly forgot. Okay, this Vanda here is Vanda Green Light, which is a Falcata hybrid. It's trying to mount itself onto the wall there with these roots. It's got a lot of nice dangling roots there. It's a nice sturdy healthy plant. It didn't flower, however. I'm disappointed about that. I don't know why. It had everything it needed. It should have, but you know, you never know why sometimes. But it's going to keep growing along. This is an old flower spike. And that there is a little peg. You get so busy sometimes you just do not see things, right? Things just become so normal that you just don't see little details like that. Not that I'm neglecting them and I don't look. I look at these every day. I come out and I spray them with water. This one is one that I'm really looking forward to. It's Cattleya auricula, and this is its latest growth here, and this is its last one I put out. And there's another growth there that I put out for me, and I'm wondering when it will ever flower. Because it has a great root system in there. I'm a bit aware that this one grows in much wetter tropical jungles in East Ecuador. So it is an orchid that grows in a very tropical area that gets a lot of rain. So that's why it's growing in the sphagnum here. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if it ever does flower. I've got to keep my eye on it because it gets burned easily too. And we might as well just have a look up here, because these things do grow with the orchids really happily. Cleistocactus Caladamonensis. Caladamonensis. And these ones come from cliffs, and they grow on the cliff faces on tropical jungles in Bolivia. Seasonally dry during the winter, but if you look above and below where they grow, it's typical jungle, very dense jungle. And on the cliff faces where these grow, they grow like almost vertical cliff faces, like this wall. There's kind of nooks and crannies and stuff, and some of them are just growing straight out of barely anything, just a little cracks in these cliff walls. And there's giant bromeliads coming out, giant green and clumps of moss and other tropical vines. And these things are just growing their roots into the stone, so they're almost lithophytic in a sense. And they have their sweet spot where they grow and they multiply and are successful. So, tropical high humidity during the summer. I would suspect that they have plenty of rainfall, and they just get drier in the winter. They have a drier winter, which means that they probably get rain every 20 to 30 days, a little bit of rain, something like that. But you can see here that this one has put out this new growth that's coming away here. And this is my other one that I started from a cutting that I bought. So these are both cuttings. I bought them at both different times, and I rooted them up. This one's kind of gone down and stuck up a little bit, so it's trying to reach for a bit more light. But this one doesn't necessarily need direct sunlight. It grows in an area where it's on a cliff wall, so you can imagine that's like half, well, not even half a day of some direct light. But being in a jungle and high elevation, it's probably not that strong. But I'm going to keep growing these, and I'm just going to find out what makes them grow the best. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed seeing these orchids and the updates. And if you did spot that one down there in the basket, it is passed away, died. It was a cutting along with this and this one. The person didn't have a label. They said it's just a mix of cuttings, and look forward to the flowers when it does. Yeah, it didn't make it. And down here is Kingianum speciosum. There was a piece that was in with the purchase that they gave to me, so that'll be one that I'll give away to somebody. Yeah, okay, and that's it. I'm just going to enjoy this nice cool weather for a change. It's such a bliss. And down there, pointing to that green, dark green tree, is where my Vanda falcata is that actually flowered. And I think I did a little quick video on that, so that's a great thing to see. The plant itself has to grow much bigger, of course, and there are a lot of Dendrobium moniliformes in there. So after all the new canes have matured and grown, there'll be a nice display of flowers for next year, for sure. Alright, and that's all. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sending comments. I enjoy reading them. And don't forget that looking after your plants is not a chore. It's part of your self-care. So get out there and look after some plants, and if you don't have much space like I do, I try to utilize what I can. And have fun, and we'll see you next time. Bye bye.